I don't understand how these are supposed to stand up.
No, this is not how you're supposed to build it.
What? Well, hey folks, it's Amy and Brian in Colorado Mountain Living, and we're back at the greenhouse. It looks a little bit different than the last video, I think.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's filled with snow.
Yeah. There'll be snow there for a while, I think.
We are going to do it anyway. We're going to keep building through the winter as much as we can, as long as it's not snowing on us or 0-degree wind chill. Today's kind of breezy, you can probably tell on the microphones.
Par for the course where we live.
Yeah.
Usually windy in the winter.
So yeah, we're on to officially the next step of the build, which is actually building the structure of the greenhouse.
Right, so we got all the sill plates attached, and then we've got some Samson ties the nail on, and then we're good to go to start going up. So
yeah, so I'll show you a little clip of Brian sort of putting in drilling into the cement foundation to attach the sill plates. The sill plate is what the structure is. It's the base of what the structure is built on.
Right, so they're just kind of temporarily mounted with these Tapcon type screws, and then later on, once the structure gets up, then we'll permanently install it with big 1/2-inch anchor bolts.
So what do we do next? You said these.
So we still need to put on these Samson ties just on each joint. Kind of gives it a little extra protection there. And then they call this backer rod. It's just 7/8 foam. And then we'll staple that all the way around the perimeter. And then we can start putting on all the individual the baseboards for the structure with the initial sets of plates. So, yeah.
All right, guys, here it goes. Starting the build.
Yeah. Woo!
The sill plate is prepared, and one of the things that Growing Spaces does to help with the build is they color code all of their lumber. So you easily can identify, without having to measure all the lengths, which pieces go where. So we have a little bit pre-assembled. I'll tell you why later in the video, but we've got a little bit of some of the plates on these, the blue pieces.
Right, so there'll be 5 blue pieces around. Those are all where the short sill plates are. So there's 3 potential door openings, and then there's 2 on the back side. And then there's 10 green pieces. So the green ones go on the longer sections. So.
Okay, so these just lay down flat on top of what we just did?
Right, exactly. So we'll build the ring all the way around first, and then we'll start going up.
Okay.
So.
Like I mentioned, there's a reason why some of the hub plates are already attached to the wood, and that's because when we looked at the directions for building the greenhouse, it showed a photo building it in sections, such as this pentagon, doing one at a time. So we jumped in, we were eager to spend an entire afternoon putting together 5 pentagon shapes for our 33-foot dome, learning about the orientation of the construction, the hub plates and how they fit together with the carriage bolts. And we ended up getting quite a system down on how to lay out the lumber, the plates, the bolts, and the nuts. And the first piece took about an hour just to get it just right. And then the last one, the 5th one, probably only took us about 25 minutes. And by that point, the snow was starting to get heavy outside, and we were carrying the last pentagon section to the trailer, and we were ready to call it a day. And it wasn't until the very next morning when Brian noticed the video directions, they specifically recommending building the 33-foot dome differently in a layered approach, one ring at a time. So he proceeded to disassemble the pentagon sections and pull the lumber that we would need for that very first row. So, a word to the wise, don't do what we did. Definitely save yourself from having to do things over again. Take a good look at the directions before jumping in. It's a very exciting project. We were really eager to get it going and up, and we thought doing the sections was the way to go. But, the bigger the project, the more work it takes to do a redo. And we didn't want to get it wrong, so we're following the directions exactly what Growing Spaces has in their video, which is building the 33-footer one row at a time. All right, so how do these go?
So we're just gonna throw them through like that.
So these are what are they called? Hub plates or something?
Right, hub plates. So these are the half plates go on the bottom.
Okay.
Or the nearly half plates.
Those look like 8-inch steel plates or something?
They're aluminum, I think.
Oh, aluminum? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
It's 1/8-inch aluminum. So.
And they're not totally flat. They have some kind of shape to them, it looks like.
Right, so this is half of a hexagon, and then it's got curve to it, so it's cylindrical or spherical, just like the dome will be. So
so that's kind of important because that kind of predicts that a lot of what we're building here is on an angle. It's not just it's not just a single plane.
Right. Yeah.
Since we're making a curve,
yeah,
it adds an extra challenge as we put together some of the pieces.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it'll be helpful. Well, there's an alignment process as well that's important. So you can pretty much, as you're looking at the sphere, you can be able to see how it's supposed to line up. But then there's some areas, or using a torpedo level, certain areas are supposed to be level to the ground. So, and then it's also helpful that there's points on here, so the points should be lined up with the center of the 2x4. So
the points on the plate.
Right.
Okay.
And we're not going to tighten everything up real tight. We're going to leave some flexibility so that we can get holes aligned and so on. And later on we'll tighten them. So I'll keep this on a torque setting so that and they're carriage bolts, so you don't have to hold the other side. There's a square hole and then the square head on the carriage bolt. So.
Oh, okay.
So.
And in the process of getting started on the build, there's a lot of videos on Growing Spaces website, so you can kind of preview, follow along, follow the recommendations. And one of them you just said was keeping things kind of loose.
Right. Yeah. You finger tight, or I just use like I said, the torque setting on the drill, so it doesn't. I could probably still undo them with my finger, so that's how loose it is. So.
Okay. So the plates, they've got a front and a back.
Right. So the inside one just has round holes for the bolt, but again, the square holes on this one.
Okay.
And they're a little bit smaller on the inside as well. So.
right.
as far as the dimension.
Okay.
So, yep.
Just kind of push those through.
Yeah. And I got a hammer if I need it. And you want to make sure you're not hammering the points of the carriage bolt into the sides, because you don't want to damage the square.
Yeah, so your carriage bolts have to line up with the square.
Yeah, so sometimes you can use the plate to turn it or use a wrench. So.
All right.
And then you also notice that there's a little recess here. So that's important that it's on the outside. Because your plate recesses and your carriage bolt recesses in, so when your glazing comes over, it's not bowed out, sticking out. The glazing will be nice and flush.
So are those bolts going in at an angle, or are they just looks like from here? No.
No.
It's just the wood's tilted up at an
Right,
angle.
yeah.
Okay. So that probably helps the process of putting it together because it's already got it tilted on the angle it will need.
Yeah, we're on the foam. Now we'll adjust this by kind of pulling it a little bit, make sure everything's lined up with the base plate.
All right, so we're on the last connector on the first row, and this is why they kind of tell you to not have things too tight, because we're going to be sort of stretching it, pulling it out so it fits on the sill plate.
Hang on.
I don't understand how these are supposed to stand up.
No, this is not how you're supposed to build it.
What? This is sort of what we wanted, how we wanted it to go. Big pieces going up all at once, but
Yeah.
this is not how you build it, apparently.
No, not at all.
Well, it
Very
definitely,
tall. I mean, it's 2 feet up. It's 2 feet down still.
I know, this isn't even resting on the sill plate, and look how huge it is. It's going to be very big structure.
Yeah.
Now, we're doing it the recommended way, piece by piece, going in a circle. So we got the important part done, you know, the base, and the weather has definitely given us a lot of challenges. I mean, we've had to stop. We couldn't even finish last weekend. You know, we got snowed out. The winds have been crazy, and we're looking at another week of snow coming up ahead. So this is not how we wanted to build it. We didn't want to be building it through the winter time, but we're going to do it. Anyway.
Yeah, you know, we really only got 2 months. Probably January, February, the coldest, and then we get some warmer days. So
Yeah.
we got some time right now to get some of it up. So.
Yeah. I mean, we would have liked to had it dried in before all the snow came. That was definitely the goal. We didn't meet that goal. You know, we got a bunch of snow inside, but that's fine. You know, we're not growing anything right now, so we still, on the clear days, and it's in the 40s today, you know, we can get some of the structure up. So be looking forward to seeing more vertical growth in the next coming videos. We're on to the structure, guys, so even though we're not going to be building a pentagon this week, we'll be putting some more sticks up or whatever, but yeah, it'll be getting there pretty soon, for sure.
Yep. It should go relatively faster now.
Yeah.
So foundation was the hard, slow part.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, hope you're enjoying our greenhouse growing spaces dome greenhouse build, and we'll catch you on the next video.
All right. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up. Hit the like button. Appreciate it.
Woo! All right. How do we get this down? Take it easy. Woo! Ah!
Split there. Just went right in.
Oh, no.